Ladies and gentlemen, the second battery is here. This is the battery that came with the bike, and this is the new battery that I bought for $300. They're basically identical. There are a couple differences, like the new battery doesn't have a handle, and if you look at this, the sled lands right here, whereas this one, it lands right here. They're the same size to where they can fit on the bike. Now we can take this stupid little bag off. Find out. And we can take the sled for the new battery, and we can basically just pop it right here. You can see that there are some screw holes in the bike frame, and we'll just take a screw, and we'll just screw this in. I should probably use thread locker on these, just to make sure that this doesn't come loose. I'll do that in a sec. I just want to test this to make sure that these work. Okay, the sled is attached. I haven't wired it in yet, but we should be able to see if the battery fits. Look at that. Fantastic. I love it when it works the first time. Now we're just going to put thread locker on these bolts to make sure that they stay in there. Okay, it looks like the tips of the bolts are coming out a little bit too high. So I'm going to take my metal file. I'm just going to file the bolts down a little bit. Okay, moment of truth. Hey, perfect. It slots in. And then it has keys here somewhere, so if you want to lock it in place, I don't know where the keys went. Okay, now I guess let's go ahead and get this thing wired in. Looks like they're giving us two connectors here on the edges of these wires. Those will not fit in the controller that we have there. I've got to pull the seat back off so we can get access to the electronics. Okay, let's detach the old battery's connector. And so we've got one battery that's got a connector that looks like this, another battery that's got a connector that looks like this, and we need to connect that into a device that's got XT60 connectors, to where we've got 3 different connector styles that we need to make work. This little guy right here is a dual battery balance discharger. It makes sure that the 2 batteries stay at the same level as they go down, rather than one sending power up to the other or vice versa. This makes it to where you can connect them both together. I just want to highlight that what I'm about to do is not recommended. If you're going to be doing this, you definitely want to do this with like a soldering iron, and you want to like actually stick real connectors on. You don't want to just cut the connectors off and twist wires together. I don't exactly have a soldering iron, nor do I have a power outlet to connect it to if I did. Then we're going to strip a little bit off the top of the wires, just like we did before with the brake light. There we go. These 2 sets of wires go to the batteries, and these 2 sets of wires go to the motor controller. Before we connect the wires, we're going to take some heat shrink, and we're going to slide it on both ends of the wire. Okay, now let's go connect it to the first battery. Red goes to red, and then black goes to black. Again, I really want to emphasize, this is not the professional way to bind wires like this, with high current. Okay, now I've got these 2 wires connected. I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm going to clamp this down, just to make sure that there's no like air in between them. Okay, update. This is not going to be quite as ghetto as I thought it was going to be, because my friend has a soldering iron. That's one of those things that melts metal and it connects metal together. He's got soldering iron and solder, so we can actually bind these metals together better than fucking just clamping them with pliers. And I should be able to power it with my inverter right here. Let's test it, see if it works. Hey, look at that, it does work. Now I need to be really careful with this, not to touch it. He doesn't have the stand that's supposed to go in, so this is just going to sit there while it heats up. Yeah, it doesn't even have like a way for me to control the temperature of how hot it's getting. Looks like I gotta teach you guys a really shitty way to solder wires together. Okay, so this right here is called solder. You can see it's got this little wire right here. This has a really low melting point. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to touch it to the wires that you're trying to connect. It will melt, flow into all of them, and then harden. So you're not melting the wires themselves, you're melting the solder, and that will connect the wires together. Regretfully, I don't think I'm going to be able to get you guys a good POV because I need both hands to be able to do this, and this is hot. I'm not going to risk it for fucking footage. So we're going to put the soldering iron onto the wires to get them hot, and we're going to take the solder and we're going to slowly put it on here until it beads up and liquefies. Okay, I hope this gives a demonstration of just how bad at soldering I actually am, but maybe that's good. Who knows? Okay, looking at this now, I can see that my second attempt is much better than my first attempt, just because I've had more practice. I'm actually going to go back and fix my first one. Yes, there we go. The second attempt is much more improved. Now we just need to heat up the heat shrink. There we go. We only need to do that 4 more times. I don't have a wire stripper, so I'm using my teeth. Now we just solder these guys together. Go away, bee. I will burn you. Ah, yeah, see, after that first one that I did, now that I've got practice, I'm much better at this. They're turning out much better. Fucking hold a flame, you motherfucker. Okay, we're almost there. 2 more left. Okay, everything is wired up. Now, moment of truth. I should be able to plug a battery into either slot and have it work. First, let's test the original, make sure that this still works. Turn it on. Good, turns on. Okay, now the new battery. Power on. Power's on, perfect. Holy shit, we got it. It works. Screw the seat back on. Actually, before I finish putting that in, I should probably test to make sure that they both work together at the same time. Turns on, cool. I'm not sure which one is actually providing power, which one's doing more work, which one's doing less work. Okay, now I'm gonna lock the bikes in place just to keep them from sliding out. One of the downsides of this bike is that the lock is completely different from the power supply, to where locking the bike only keeps the battery from sliding out. It doesn't actually turn the bike off. On my bike, if I lock the battery, the whole bike turns off, so somebody can't steal my bike if I've locked it. Whereas with this bike, even if I lock it and I walk away, somebody could just turn the power button on and drive the bike away. Okay, we wired these batteries up in parallel, which means that this won't make it stronger, it won't make it faster, it'll just make it last longer. Yeah, see, I'm pedaling and the motors are not kicking in. I'm not sure why, but okay, there they go. It takes like a solid 10 seconds for the motors to kick in on pedal assist. We do need to go head to one of the post office places because I'm pretty sure my other package has arrived too. I'm not sure if they're open. I hope they are. Do you speak English? They say they don't have it. I swear, shipping in Bulgaria is just a nightmare. That means we still cannot leave yet because I still don't have the bag that's supposed to go here, which I would use to hold my clothes and shit. So I assumed that the bag would be here first because I ordered it from Amazon and I got this on AliExpress. I don't know how this one is still late. It should have been there. I suppose we can go get some food, but I'm not sure what we're gonna do today because I was expecting us to get that package. I have tested it though, both batteries work. I can turn off either one individually and the bike just keeps going. Yeah, that's still a problem, or if you stop really quickly, your groin ends up going right into the side battery, or to the top battery. When I was talking about the bike locks earlier, I want to show you what I actually mean. So we're going to take this, and I'm going to lock the battery. So it's in the lock position, but the switch on the side right here still works. You can still turn the battery on and off, regardless of whatever this is. All this does is stop it from being able to slide forward. So even if I walk away from the bike and I lock it like that, somebody can still come over here and just take the bike. Yeah, so I guess it's gonna be a short vlog today. So what that actually means is that this bike doesn't need keys at all. If you want to leave the bike, if you want to leave the batteries unlocked, you can just take them on or off. You don't even need keys for that. One of the biggest downsides to having two batteries rather than one is that means that you need to charge two batteries, which means we need to carry both of those into coffee shops. We need to have two power supplies for each of them. It just means that it's going to require a lot more, come on, electrical stuff. Luckily, the power supplies that came with these batteries were pathetic and weak, but I already have replacements here that double the charging speed. I also need to clean these rotors because that is driving me up a fucking wall. Yeah, and this battery right here doesn't even have a handle on it, which means if you want to take it, you've just got to kind of manhandle it like this. The one that came with the bike has this little handle that you can put your fingers into, and I take back everything I just said. Let me show you some of the logistics problems that come with having two batteries. First off, it means to be able to charge these guys, we need to carry two power supplies. So that means one power supply and a second power supply. But in addition to that, if we look at this power plug right here, you'll see it's only got one port, which means potentially we can only charge one battery at a time. If we want to charge both of these, we need to get like an extender on top of that, which is what this guy is. I got this little cube thing, and it's got 5 outlet ports on it to where we can charge all 3 of these batteries and our laptop and something else. So, but luckily both batteries have the same port type to where either one of the power supplies can work with either one of them. For example, my battery, it doesn't. It's got a completely different port, so I can't use either one of these 2 power supplies to charge my battery. Then, on top of charging all 3 of the bike batteries, we still have the inverter and this power supply that we need to charge. So, that is what this guy is for. This is a 200-watt USB-C power supply. So that means this can put 100 watts into this guy, and 65 watts into this guy, and 40 watts into like my phone or my laptop, where this can keep everything charged. And this is the full setup right now. We've got 3 batteries charging, Actually, we've got 5 batteries charging and potentially also a laptop. This is what it's going to look like every time we stop at a coffee shop now. This is absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, I hope we don't trip any breakers anywhere we go to, because if we're just sitting in a like little local place, we put this in here, we're trying to pull like 1,000 watts from the wall and the whole lights in the place go out, that would not be fun. I can say now with 100% certainty that Nicole's bike is now better than mine. It's got 50% more battery capacity, it's got 50% more power for the motor, it's got full suspension. It doesn't have the carrying capacity that mine does. Mine can carry more cargo, but that's not that big of a deal. And I'm going to be riding that, so she doesn't need to worry about carrying stuff. I'll carry most of the big stuff. Wait a minute, I just heard a knock. Oh, look at that, we got a package. Maybe this is the package I was looking for earlier. If the bike bags are in this, that means we can leave tomorrow. Look at that. Let's go install it. You know, looking at it now, I'm worried that it might be a little bit too long for that short bike rack. Like, maybe it'll fit. This is it. This is the last thing. Once this is installed, the bike is done. Ooh, this is nice. I think this is leather. Fuck. It doesn't have the side flappy things that are supposed to come out so you can hold clothes. I guess that means I gotta buy another one at some point. It is also pretty long, which means getting the tent in and out might be kind of tough. There are individual side bags that I could get that clip onto the side right here, to where I could keep this and then just get 2 side panniers. Fuck. But this is what we've got right now, so this is what we're going to deal with. It's not ideal. We will be on the hunt for another bag as we ride around. It's just held on with Velcro. Okay, so assuming that this is the only pack that we have, that means that this top thing is probably going to have to be used for like clothes. And there's not even a lot of room for clothes in here. So like a couple shirts and pants maybe. There's some side pockets here. And there's a little flop. I'm not sure what this is for, but it's there for some reason. We have a tiny little pocket on the top right here, which I think could be used for like paper or something, like documents, I don't know. And we've got the 2 side pockets, and there's nothing special about them at all. We might be able to carry some like granola bars or something. But we definitely have a lot less storage space than my bike. Yeah, I think that's the biggest disadvantage of this bike. All of the other stuff is better, but it just can't carry shit. Okay, let me move her out here so you guys can actually take a look at what she looks like. Fully done. Here she is. 2 batteries, pack, tent, laptop holder, backpack holder. Yeah, so the fact that my bike can carry a lot more stuff is definitely an advantage. Now we just need to be able to attach the sleeping pads and whatever. I'm going to use these carabiners to do that. I'm going to hook them on with these hose clamps. Mosquitoes are out right now and it's driving me fucking insane. Okay, problem. They definitely want to hit the wheel well. I think I need to add something to this back part, just like as a wall to keep these things from falling into the back of the wheel. Let's take this off. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I will take this like this, and then take one of these flat things and put them right here. So I've got like a little wall that'll keep it from falling backward. I will do that tomorrow morning because we are leaving tomorrow. Tonight is our last night here. We're gonna head to the main city. We're gonna head to a camping store to see if we can get like a pot and like a cooking set so we can cook while we're out on the road. I think that would be really cool. I'm gonna get a sleeping bag and a sleeping mat for her because these are mine. And then we're gonna head to Turkey. Fuck. Can't believe it's finally done. This took like a month to actually get together.